starting at S and going through to the fermata. This is before the electro. You guys are set. All right, let's just do it under. 1, 2, ready, go. Percussion, just have a look at that. I know that that's kind of hard to get with the macro pulse. I'll help you out.
I heard you say F,
oh,
so I got a little confused.
Okay.
So we're good.
Okay, cool. Can I have just woodwinds at S, please? Just woodwinds. Alto sax, violins, layout. 1, 2, ready, go. Can we be really, really particular with the articulation, listening to each other? Try that one more time. That was much better. You can still do more of that. Just be conscious of listening to each other. And the third measure after S, where you have those 3 concert Fs in a row, do something with that. Don't play them the same each time. Do something with it. Phrase the line. Good. Now can I hear the alto sax and the horn, please? At S. What is that? What is their line in the context of the whole piece? Right. Yeah, counter melody. So if you can't hear their line, because it's really important, you're playing a little bit too loud and you can back down. Alto saxes, imagine this. I'd like more of the horn sound, so if you can put your sound, or make your sound fit into their sound, I would really appreciate it. Cool. Let's put everybody again at S. You are marked.
We should still be thinking.
Yeah. So. Like
But I'm sitting behind them, and I think it's like mezzo forte. Is what I hear. With love, Dr. Neal.
Chicago Symphony horns and alto violin. S. part, please, for a minute. Edits. So, ensemble, does that sound familiar? What is that compositional technique? Augmentation, thank you. So we have the augmentation of this rhythm that comes back in the cornets. So also, while you're listening for the counter melody, you should be listening for that too. Lots of stuff going on just in this section at S. Okay, let's start at S and we'll continue on now. S. So woodwinds, again, at T, specifically, like 1, 2, 3, 4, going into the 5th bar after T. You have this long slur and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, for my taste, I think you're hitting that concert D natural just a little bit hard. Can you play that just a little bit more legato to go with the slur all the way?
So, do you want us to ignore the staccato at the end of the phrases then?
Do you have staccatos at the end of the phrase?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's not in my
Wait, be
score.
specific. Where?
Where at? I know you have one
So
in.
we have T da 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 da. It's almost at the end of every slur, almost.
But what about like where I said at 1, 2, 3, 4, like that?
5 after T.
5 after T.
Yeah.
You do there too? Oh, okay.
That's not in the score.
That's not in my score.
Okay.
Okay.
So we can ignore it.
Why don't you, just for the sake of my musical interpretation? Cool. Can we try that, ignoring the staccato? At T. Ready? Good, good. Do that every time. That's what I want. Trumpets at T, please. Trumpets at T. Thank you. So, melody, first off, right? Same thing that I asked the woodwinds to do earlier. When you have the 3 notes, the 3 concert A's in a row, da da da. Can you do something with that, please? Grow some. Just try that first part of the phrase again, like what we just did. Good, thank you. Careful not to rush, though. Just because you're playing louder doesn't mean you're playing faster. Everybody at C now. C. Ready?
of tie. All right.
Never mind.
Yay, Patrick. How'd it go?
It went okay.
Anything you do differently? Anything you thought worked exceptionally well?
I don't know. I didn't think anything went like overly exceptionally well that stuck out in my head. I mean, it went the way I planned that it would go, minus the little thing with the woodwinds having something that wasn't marked in the score. But that's kind of nice.
That happens.
Too.
Okay. Ensemble.
I like your conducting, but at times I thought you were cutting off when you were keep on going. So I just like watched that your hand doesn't turn over. So there was like twice where I thought you cut off and you didn't.
Yeah, good job of handling like the difference between like what they had in the score, because you know it's kind of a tough thing to do because it's like, what do you do?
I felt like we were in like a real rehearsal, like we weren't in a classroom practicing, like we would be out in a rehearsal, but like if you have a really good presence and you know what you want and you know, you cut us off and just tell us what you want us to do instead of just keep going. It's nice.
I thought your communication was really clear. I didn't really have any doubts. You know, you wanted to take time before tea and you made it really clear.
Very, very organized and well spoken.
I love how you incorporated the use of like the augmentation kind of.
No? Okay, good. Couple comments for you, Patrick. I thought you did really, really well. Very organized. I'm with Jenna. It felt like a real rehearsal to me. It felt like we were making progress with an end goal in mind instead of the end goal being when your 10 minutes is up. So that was good. And you made it feel comfortable, I think, for us, at least for me. If I were in the ensemble, I would have felt comfortable. I think you are ready and Nikki, this is the thing I forgot to say. You're both ready to use your gesture to get what you want, rather than just having to go, horns, can you play louder? And you did it once. You did it once. You went like this to them, and they didn't do anything. So if that happens, you might need to drop the beat pattern, point at who you're talking about, and like give them some sort of like, no, I want you much louder. You have to kind of give up this and trust that it's going to be okay for 3 measures or whatever it takes for you to do that gesture and then get back in. And there was a time, Nikki, when you, the same thing, and I think it was maybe with the horns as well. I can't remember. But where you cut them off and you said, horns, can you be louder there? And I feel like if you had just gone like this to them, they probably would have gotten the message. So you all have the technique to do that now. So don't be afraid to do that. Save your words if you can. Okay? At letter T, that spot where the articulation is different, remember guys, composers make mistakes. They don't have to make it sound good. You have to make it sound good. So sometimes they think, well, what I want is a kind of light. But if an ensemble looks at that, they're going to say, but they don't know that because they sit in a studio, and when they hear it in their head, they don't think about how actual people are going to react to it all the time because they don't stand in front of people all the time. But you do, as a teacher. So you might have to change something that the composer writes because you know it's not going to sound good, like what Patrick did. And it sounded so much better, didn't it, when he changed it? Don't be afraid to do that. The composer is an expert on composing. You are the expert on making the group sound good. So you might have to tweak some things, and that's totally legal. And I expect it out of you because you're good musicians. Okay? Good job, Patrick. All right, Danielle.